Good afternoon runners, and welcome back to another video from me, that running girl. In today's video I am going to be reviewing the Hoka Cielo X1 2.0, telling you what I think about this shoe, what kind of distances I run in this shoe, and how it has fared up against my other shoes in my shoe rotation. So let's get into it. I bought this shoe about a month ago when I was looking for something a little bit snappier to use in my tempo and classic track sessions. I currently run in the Asics Nova Blast 5, and although that shoe is super good for daily miles and it's just a super good workhorse of a shoe and it's still really bouncy and fun to run in, I wanted something a bit snappier and something that I could really lay down some fast tempo efforts in, which is when I arrived at this shoe. So this shoe features a carbon plate, something that I usually do stay away from. I think I've said in previous videos that I actually don't like carbon plated shoes. I just find them really stiff, and I know some people find them bouncy, but I prefer the bounce of just a lightweight foam shoe, something like the Asics Nova Blast 5 or even the Saucony Energy Endorphins. Again, I just find that kind of shoe with the minimal kind of structure of the shoe and all of the maximum stack height and the bounce through the foam in the shoe, I just prefer that to a regular carbon racer. So I was pleasantly surprised when I tried these shoes and really got on with them, so I thought I would make a video on them. But also, like I said in previous videos, I have run for 21 years, 32 marathons, and previously I would have never tried a Hoka shoe. I was always a Nike or an Asics girl, and it's only recently that I have tried the Hoka shoes. And what I will say is Hoka super shoes I have gotten really well with. Hoka shoes that aren't super shoes, so anything like the Clifton or the Bondi, I have found really heavy, unresponsive, and just almost like feel to me like they're not running shoes. When I ran in them, they were just the most joyless ride, those kind of shoes. So if you're anything like me and you like a lightweight bouncy shoe, stay away from the Hoka Clifton or the Hoka Bondi. So that being said, let's get into it. So first things first, I absolutely love the colorway of these shoes. I don't know whether this is picking up, but they have almost like a glittery kind of iridescent layer of foam in here. They have an absolutely great high stack height, so there is about 7 millimeters in the overall stack of the shoe, and they feature a big slab of Peba foam which runs throughout the entire shoe, and they feature a cutaway here which makes for a much more aggressive rocker. So if you didn't know, the rocker of a shoe and a carbon plate shoe is ultimately what drives the forefoot going forward. So if you're not a natural forefoot striker, this will help you to propel your running forward, so it instantly just jolts into the ground and kind of encourages that forefoot stride that will give you a really nice efficient gait. So yeah, really like the look of the shoes straight out of the box. It was really nice to see this super lightweight mesh foam up the front here, which very lightweight and in hot temperatures makes you very cool, and when you've got it on the foot it very much feels like there's nothing there. That being said, when you do slip your foot into these shoes, I will say size is something very precise in the shoe, so you have to really make sure you get the right size in these. So I personally have found Hokas to come up super small. I take a UK 6 in regular shoes, a UK 7 in running shoes, so Nike and Asics, and I got a UK 8 in the shoe. That is how narrow the fit is at the front here. It is very tapered in the toe box area, so if you have wide feet, or like me, you like to kind of have a little bit more room in the foot so that when your foot kind of drops to the ground, you can splay all your toes out and really kind of grip the floor, because I personally hate it when your toes are all kind of cramped into the front of the foot. So yeah, I would size up half a size or a whole size in the shoe if you're thinking of going for this shoe. What I will say in the shoe is that it is super, super, super bouncy. I found it very, very, very different to anything like the Nike Alpha Fly or the Nike Vaporfly, which to me personally feel very stiff, both when you're standing and at slow distance running and at tempo running. I know other people would disagree with that, but I still find them a stiff shoe. I also found the Asics Metaspeed Sky very stiff, but this shoe features the carbon plate and it has the max stack of Piba foam going through it. So you almost get the best of both worlds in this shoe, and it just feels super springy, super bouncy, and super fun to run in. I have been using it for my classic track sessions. So I usually do a track session once a week on the road. I just make up the distance myself. This week I did a 1 mile warm up, 2 sets of 1200 meters, 4 sets of 800 meters, and a half a mile cool down. And you know, on any kind of track session that I do in these, whether it's 10 400s or 1200s or 800s, 1600s, they just perform really, really, really well. And I cannot wait to use these in a fast and short distance race. Coming on to races, I have got the Marsh Gibbon 5K in August, which I most likely will wear these shoes at, so I'm super excited about that. I would say personally, if you're a neutral and efficient runner, you should probably be taking these shoes up to half marathon. They're certainly a really fun sort of 5K or 10K shoe. You could probably get away with them for the marathon, to be honest, but most people do want a little bit more cushioning around them for the marathon. And personally, if I was, you know, my marathon in October on the road, I wouldn't wear these for the marathon because they're just a little bit too stripped back for my liking, and I prefer a little bit more cushioning around the whole foot really for the marathon, just for stability and support and all that good stuff. The lacing system is quite, you know, typical for Hoka shoes and racers. They have an extremely thin tongue. They have a really good lockdown here. But like I say, when you put your foot in, you definitely feel instantly like the narrowness of the shoe. So you really want to, while they give you a good lockdown, you really want to make sure that you get the right size in the shoe for that. One thing I will say again is, in Hokas, I do feel like, for me, they have quite a bit of heel slippage. So again, for me, it was difficult to get a shoe that actually fit at the front and in the midfoot, but wasn't slipping so much at the heel. And I had to actually compromise on that and just basically go up a little bit in size of the shoe and just kind of, personally, I would rather have a little bit more room here. Even if it's slipping at the back here, then have it too tighter overall, because when my feet are kind of hitting the front of the shoe, it causes pain and black toenails and problems when you're running, because you can't kind of start running differently because of that. And so yeah, I would say that expect a little bit of heel slippage here. It does have a really nice padded heel, which is really nice in the Achilles area. It's very flexible in this area here, so if you're looking for a shoe that really kind of is bendy and kind of molds to your foot, this is definitely that shoe. I feel like some carbon racers are very much stiff and don't have that kind of flex in them, so it's really nice to have that flex in it. So yeah, overall, great shoe for tempo races, great shoe for tempo runs, races from 5K to half marathon, aggressive rocker, max stack of Piba foam, about 7 millimeters high, weighing in at about 7.5 ounces, and just a super nice looking shoe that can go into your rotation and you can cruise some lightning miles in. So if you have run in the Cielo X1 2.0, let me know what you think of it, and I'll see you in my next video.